At Novant Health, our trends mirror the national ones. We have a lower inpatient census. We do still have patients in our hospitals who are battling COVID-19. And while our hospitalization rates are down, we do continue to see moderate to severe disease among our inpatient populations, with some requiring ventilators. Almost all of those individuals had not been vaccinated. This is a good reminder that everyone who is eligible for the vaccine should get the vaccine. Community spread is still occurring in pockets, particularly in places that had fewer cases earlier in the pandemic or have lower vaccination rates. The vaccines are holding up well against variants so far, which is really great news. At Novant to date, we've administered more than 484,000 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine, with over 242,000 people fully vaccinated. Our vaccination sites continue to see high volumes of younger individuals, ages 12 to 15 now. Since the Pfizer vaccine was authorized for emergency use in North Carolina, more than 100,000 doses have been given in this age group. We had historically low influenza season this year because of social distancing and masking, and that's going to be the case for so many respiratory illnesses, or so many viral respiratory illnesses. And there's always that spring cold you hear about. I would also say the same thing for gastrointestinal illness. So those are things that often come in the spring as well. The quote stomach bug or stomach flu, sometimes is norovirus or enteroviruses, and then a lot of those things we can get from, that cause respiratory illness as well. So I think we will have that. I mean, I've run into many people who said, I haven't had a cold in a year and a half, and I haven't been sick at all, and they were masking through all of that time. So I hope what will happen is that'll kind of spark a movement in the society to say, hey, if I'm not feeling great, I'm going to mask, no matter when it is, and especially in the respiratory season in the fall and winter. That masking will just become a little more socially acceptable, that kind of, hey, I just have a cold, it's not serious, but I don't want to spread it, because we've recognized how well masking and distancing works. So maybe we can incorporate that into what's socially acceptable in this country, as it is in other parts of the world that mask more frequently than we do. It's always being aware of your own potential risk factors and being smart. We know that, bigger rooms, being outside, good ventilation, good airflow, being vaccinated are very safe places to be. And so hopefully people will think about that during the holiday weekend. Moderna said it was 100% effective, which is pretty remarkable in that age group. And so I think from our standpoint, the more vaccines that we have available, the better. And I think we're in a transition period, as Dr. Williams mentioned. I think the people who've wanted vaccine have gotten it in a lot of ways. And I think the group now to focus on, and where it's really effective, is to give people a vaccine kind of where they are in the course of their day. You mentioned, being at the grocery store, being at the doctor's office, or being at church, or this kind of setting. That's when we're going to get people vaccinated. They're, oh, I'm here, and there it is right there. That haven't actively sought it out. So when another company comes along and says, hey, we've done the studies, we've determined this is safe for yet another age group, that just gives us one more way to use a vaccine in those kind of settings. Because I think rather than big mass vaccination events, we're going to have more, I don't know what the term would be, embedded vaccines in everyday life. And so that's really where we're moving. So we would welcome that news from Moderna.